It may be about them, but this book is not for the birds. Hi everyone, I'm Jacob. I'm the CowHatLibrarian, and I've got an interesting one, a picture book I found on a recent trip to my local public library, and it's by a children's author who I've quite enjoyed in the past. And that author is Bob Shea. I quite enjoyed Unicorn Thinks He's Pretty Great, a story about a unicorn and a gruff goat and goat's jealousy of unicorn. And I thought it was a really fun take on things. The sequel wasn't quite as fun, but still it was a solid effort. So when I saw Bob Shea had written a new one called Pizza for Birds, I was excited. I've liked Bob Shea's stuff in the past. The idea of pizza and birds and what looks like a dinosaur but is later revealed to be an alligator, it sounded like a winner. And it was okay. As the story starts, Bob the alligator operates Shea Bob, where he makes birdseed and feeds the birds. And Shea Bob is incredibly popular and all the birds come out. But there's someone else here, an alligator named Ryan, who's young and cool and serves pizza. No birdseed for Ryan. And a number of the birds prefer Ryan. They like his attitude. They like the fact that he rides a bike. They love his pizza. And Bob doesn't do so well with that. He doesn't understand why they like Ryan doing bike tricks. And even though Ryan likes Bob and respects him, it's not enough for Bob, and he's jealous of Ryan and all the attention he's getting. So Bob does what so many people with bad intentions do. He goes online with a bunch of sock puppet accounts and starts making fun of Ryan and his pizza and his bike riding and everything else. Ryan's pizza made me fly backwards. Bike tricks, I'd rather see him disappear. Pizza, gross. And he ends up demoralizing Ryan, who's deciding that he's going to leave and go to art school. And Bob fesses up. Ryan is mad. And eventually they make things up and end up working together on a business. And that's the end of the story. Now, this wasn't up to the level of Unicorn Thinks He's Pretty Great. In fact, it was a pretty by-the-numbers story of people being jealous of newcomers. And there wasn't a lot here. The alligators selling birdseed or pizza to birds was a different take on it. The idea of Ryan being younger and cooler than Bob was pretty conventional, and it was fine. There was nothing really new here or really surprising here, though. Shea's prose is great. Some of the stuff in here is quite funny. His returning to the word affable over and over again and having Bob wonder what affable even means and resolving to look it up, that was funny. The social media stuff and the fake accounts were quite good as well. A bird that walks now. Smart bird who is not Bob. Popular birds. Trustworthy bird 226. And Shea Bob fan 203992. These feel like sock puppet accounts that someone would make on a random social media site to take someone they didn't like down a peg or two. That part felt very, very true to life, and I have no doubt it's what a number of kids having this book read to them will experience later in their lives, sadly. It's very, very relatable. Shea's art style is fun. I like his drawing style. It feels like a some of Shea's drawings feel like a little bit of a callback to sort of happy home family illustrations of the 1970s or so. And I don't know how to describe it better than that, but this image of all the birds hanging out drinking coffee when Bob comes to talk to them, it feels a lot like those old illustrations of the happy suburbs with all the houses with the TV antennas up on the roofs. And it has that same feeling to me. The illustration of Ryan being sad while Bob fesses up and eats his pizza was very, very well done, very dramatic. And I know my kids were amazed by the drawing after that apology where Ryan loses it at Bob. And this, I'm not sure what to say about this drawing. On one hand, it's a bit of a mess and it's jarring compared to the rest of the book. On the other hand, it's also kind of brilliant. It is jarring. It takes the readers right out of their complacency, and where a page before you think that maybe Ryan's going to be a bigger guy right in that moment and accept the apology and things will be fine. No, Ryan is mad and he's not going to take it. And this just wild illustration with just heavy, heavy, heavy sketchy lines and angry eyes, but retaining the purple hair curls to make sure that kids can still identify this monster as Ryan. It was very, very effective. It takes a minute to appreciate how good it is. At least it did for me. So it wasn't Shea's absolute best work, but if you did like his other works, like Unicorn Thinks He's Pretty Great, this one's probably worth your time. If you like stories about friends who don't get along at first and find ways to coexist, maybe Mine by Jeff Mack, maybe, or some of the stories in The Rock That Fell from the Sky by John Clausen, or maybe We Found a Hat by John Clausen. If you had readers in your lives who liked that story and the implied competition between the turtles who both wanted the hat they found, this might work for them as well. I liked it. Go borrow it from your public library. While I'm on that topic, if you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library, why not take just 1 minute and tell the powers that be exactly that? Tell your mayor, tell a council member, tell your MP or MLA that you use and appreciate the services offered by your public library. We're at a time where some libraries are having trouble finding sustainable funding to continue improving the materials, programs, and services they offer. And a few good words in the right ears might make a world of difference. If by some chance you're a library staff member, don't forget, watching my videos counts as professional development time. With that, thanks for listening to me pick at this one the same way the birds in it picked at Bob's birdseed. By all means, please like, please subscribe, and please check back to see what else I have to talk about from the Cow Hat Library. Thank you. Bye now.